So we have a lot of investors that are foreign nationals in other countries that invest in the United States because we have good real estate investment opportunities here. So we see that a lot. So yes, foreign nationals can get funding even if they don't have U.S. credit history. Usually the lenders we work with, they're going to want you to have a U.S.-based entity set up like an LLC or a corporation. We're able to verify your creditworthiness through your country credit system. So we'll get alternative trade lines or to show credit payment history. So that could be, phone bills, different things in your country.
Welcome to the Investor Financing Podcast, where we interview real estate investors and lenders so you can learn all the secrets to getting your projects funded and scale your portfolio. And now, your host, Beau Ekstein.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Investor Financing Podcast, and I'm your host, Beau Ekstein. And on today's show, we're going to talk about foreign national financing. I get a lot of calls on non-U.S. citizens looking to buy property in the U.S. for investment. And I wanted to dive in on some options that you do have. And we do also offer what I call low doc loans for investors, meaning we're not going to ask for tax returns, and we'll base our loan on the DSCR of the property, meaning the income versus the mortgage debt itself. So that's what debt service coverage ratio is. So anyway, let me dive into it.
Meet Beau Ekstein, the driving force behind Business Ownership Coach, unlocking the path to business ownership. Visit www.businessownershipcoach.com. Thrive with Business Ownership Coach.
This is going to be general. It's not specific, but generally, visas are not required if property is held in a U.S. domiciled company. A domestic agent of service is required. So what that means is if you have a U.S.-based business entity, LLC, corporation, limited partnership, and the registered agent is in the U.S., then that could be acceptable. They are open. Various visa types are accepted. You can get leverage up to 75%. Typically 65, 75 is the range you're going to see depending on various factors such as the debt service coverage ratio of the property. Usually you're going to need 3 to 6 months of PITI reserves, principal, interest, taxes, and insurance. 3 to 6 months of reserves. Those reserves sometimes don't necessarily need to be in the U.S. We can use your bank to verify those. No tax returns required. On many of these programs, we can use a foreign credit report. And for income verification, we can get a letter from the employer or a approved CPA. So there's options out there for foreign national investors looking to purchase real estate in the U.S.
Hi, Beau. I live in Japan and hope to move to the U.S. in a few years. I was wondering what my options are for DSCR loans as a foreign national. Plus, how much down would be required and what general terms might I expect?
I get calls all the time from foreign nationals and actually mostly emails because they're usually in a different time zone. So yes, there's DSCRs loans that are geared for foreign national borrowers. And I pulled this up. A foreign national alien is defined as a borrower that does not live and work in the U.S. If people are listening, that's the definition of a foreign national. So, so some of the eligibility requirements are foreign national must provide a valid passport. These loans must be made for business purpose, so no second homes or anything like this. Business purpose is really geared for a company or a natural person buying a property for investment purposes only. Investing would be allowed in either your name or a business entity. But here's the thing, the business entity must be registered in the United States. Okay, it couldn't be a a foreign corporation, meaning out of the country type of corporation. So that's another one. And then certain lenders have restrictions on countries. So like, for example, there's like a list. One of the funds I work with, they have a list of 20 countries that they will not allow citizens from that country to borrow funds from. So, but to answer your question, there's plenty of DSCR funding available. Usually, some of the problems that I see, obviously, you need a lender that is aware that you probably don't have any U.S.-based credit, so there's going to be no credit score pulled. And then the other thing that's important, if you have the business entity set up, you want to make sure you do that correctly with whoever's setting up the U.S.-based business entity. And then you want to get a U.S.-based bank account. So if you're looking to invest in the U.S., it's advantageous to get this set up way in advance and then put some money in the bank account so we don't have to paper trail any of the funds, and it's there and it's sitting there, and then it makes executing on this purchase a lot easier, or this refinance, probably a purchase if this is the first property you're buying. And then there are a little bit of a hit to the rate, and they limit the LTV, the loan to a foreign national. So on the DSCR program, you're going to be capped at 70 to 75 LTV. It's usually a 5 to 10% haircut from what they would lend to a U.S.-based business or individual. So that's pretty much it. So to answer your questions, foreign national financing is perfectly okay. Most of the lenders we work with are capable of funding these type of transactions. If you have any questions on a particular scenario, you can book a call below.
Hello, Beau. I'm Theo, a real estate broker with a focus on working with investor clients, many of whom are foreign nationals. I'm curious to know if it's possible to secure debt service coverage ratio, or DSCR, loans for them without requiring a U.S. credit history. Thank you for your insights. Best regards, Theo.
Yeah, typically if it's a treaty country and the potential borrower can show like 2 to 3 years of credit trade lines in their particular country, then you can get a DSCR loan. So we have a lot of investors that are foreign nationals in other countries that invest in the United States because we have good real estate investment opportunities here. So we see that a lot. So yes, foreign nationals can get funding even if they don't have U.S. credit history. Usually the lenders we work with, they're going to want you to have a U.S.-based entity set up like an LLC or a corporation. We're able to verify your creditworthiness through your country credit system. So we'll get alternative trade lines or to show credit payment history. So that could be, phone bills, different things in your country. So yes, we can handle that. Typically, the loan to value, you're putting a little bit more in if you're foreign national. So if I could get you, say, 75%, if you were a U.S. citizen loan to value on the loan, you might be at 65 or 70. There's going to be a little bit of a haircut, but foreign nationals can get DSCR financing, and we can help facilitate that. So go to bookwithbeau.com. Happy to discuss your scenarios and get you funding. So thanks for the question. Don't forget to go to investorfinancingpodcast.com/ask. Fire away your questions and we'll answer them live on the show. And we'll see you on the next episode. Thanks so much.
Hey guys, Beau Ekstein here. If you enjoyed what you saw, please subscribe to this channel. We talk all things financing. I've been in the lending industry for over 20 years, and I'm happy to answer your questions and provide great content.